You've seen all the gorgeous cinematic drone shots all over social media. Smooth flyovers, big brand clients, a hobby turned into a six-figure business. Sounds like the perfect career path, doesn't it? But what if that dream flight doesn't end with a cinematic fade-out? What if it ends with a legal notice that threatens to bankrupt you? What if the FBI shows up at your front door? Today, we're talking about the side of the drone industry no one puts in the brochure. The lawsuits, the arrests, the convictions, the public backlash, the ever-revolving regulatory chaos. The biggest risks in this business aren't always in the air. They're the ones no one warns you about. What's happening out there, and how do we deal with it? Today, we're going to talk about the dark side of the drone industry and how we must protect ourselves from risks many pilots never see coming. Risks that can end your drone business just like that. Thanks for joining me for this edition of Drone Pilot MBA. Welcome back for another edition of Drone Pilot MBA. Allow me to begin by saying this episode, it's not about fear. It's about realism. It's about awareness. It's about smart strategy. The drone industry is rapidly expanding, and so are the risks that come with it. Behind the highlight reels and hype videos is a growing list of pilots and companies dealing with crippling lawsuits, criminal convictions, reputational damage, regulatory landmines, and technology vulnerabilities most operators never even think about. Today, we're going to shine a light on the dark side of the drone industry, exposing the risks most pilots never see coming and the strategies you need to protect your drone business from today forward. Many drone pilots think their biggest threat is competition or equipment failure. Well, it's not. Your biggest threat is a lawsuit from someone you didn't even know was in your shot, or flying in a place forbidden by law while tourists and their smartphones capture you in the act, along with all the evidence law enforcement will ever need to ground your drone for good. One dangerous misconception in this industry is, well, I'm flying in public airspace, so I must be safe. Well, from a liability standpoint, that's an oversimplification. The key concept you need to understand is reasonable expectation of privacy. Even if your drone is hundreds of feet in the air, if your camera captures activity inside a private space, you could be liable under laws like intrusion upon seclusion. And this isn't about reckless flying. This is about unintentional exposure. Here's a real-world example. You're filming a real estate listing. Perfect orbit, clean lighting, optimal weather conditions. But your high-resolution camera inadvertently captures a neighbor's child playing in a fenced backyard. That single unintentional frame can trigger a lawsuit. And this isn't rare anymore. Invasion of privacy is one of the fastest growing liability risks in the commercial drone industry. From solo pilots to enterprise fleets, every flight is a legal decision, and you're fully responsible for the risks you choose to take for every decision that you make. Now, let's talk about a line many pilots don't realize they can cross. The line between civil liability and criminal charges. Some drone violations don't just lead to fines or warnings. They can lead to arrests, federal investigations, seized equipment, and in some cases, prison time. Flying in restricted airspace near airports, military bases, power plants, stadiums, or emergency response scenes isn't just against the rules. In many cases, it's a criminal offense. Interfering with law enforcement operations or emergency services can bring federal charges. Flying recklessly over people, that can escalate into endangerment. And intentionally using drones for surveillance, harassment, or prohibited recording can move quickly into criminal territory. There are pilots today who thought, well, they were just getting the shot and ended up with court dates instead of clients. The reality is simple. Ignorance of drone law is not a legal defense. The sky may look open, but legally, it's one of the most regulated spaces you can operate in. Never fool around, or you just might find out. Okay, even if you win legally, you can still lose badly. That's because public sentiment and public perception is its own battlefield. Let's be honest. Most people associate drones with either warfare or spying. They don't see the camera as a tool. They see it as an eye in the sky. That suspicion has real consequences. Angry residents filming your operation. One-star reviews before you even land your aircraft. Police calls that shut down your paid job instantly. And viral clips that destroy your brand overnight. This public pressure also fuels local restrictions and no-fly zones, shrinking the airspace you can legally operate in. Remember, your reputation is either an operational asset or a paralyzing liability. Now, let's talk a little bit about regulations and why they're such a mess. Here's a fundamental flaw. The FAA focuses almost entirely on airspace safety. They don't handle privacy. That responsibility gets kicked down to states, counties, and cities. The result? A chaotic patchwork of laws where one town is perfectly fine while the next city over is a complete legal nightmare. Now, add remote ID to the mix, essentially a digital license plate for your drone, and now your drone's location is broadcast, your location is broadcast, accountability increases, all while your personal and business privacy decreases. The government wants control. Pilots want protection. Drone business operators, well, we're stuck in the middle. Drones aren't just aircraft. They're flying computers. They broadcast a continuous signal through the airwaves. That means they're vulnerable. Data feeds can be intercepted, client information can be exposed, and control systems can be compromised. And now, with AI and autonomy entering the picture, a whole new set of questions emerge. For instance, if an autonomous drone makes a mistake, who's liable? The pilot? The manufacturer? The software developer? Right now, the law is playing catch-up. These accountability gaps are unresolved, and they're a real risk for anyone using cutting-edge drone tech commercially. After what we've discussed today, I wouldn't blame you if you were thinking, why even bother? Here's the truth. The goal isn't to scare you, it's to fortify and encourage you. The drone pilots and companies who succeed long-term understand that flying skill is not enough, and risk management is a full-time job. To help mitigate risk, I encourage you to consider this strategic risk management plan. 1. Design your operation around privacy and compliance. 2. Master local and state laws everywhere you fly. 3. Invest in secure hardware and professional workflows. 4. Carry UAS-specific insurance that explicitly covers privacy claims. And 5. Actively manage public perception. That means talking to people, being visible, operating professionally, and being an ambassador for the UAV industry. You want to also be sure that you document everything. Get written consent whenever possible, and use pre-flight checklists that flag for privacy and security risks. If you prepare for worst-case scenarios on every flight, you're going to dramatically reduce the chance of ever facing one. Final thought. The commercial drone market is projected to be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Navigating risk is not optional. It's the price of admission. The dream of building a successful drone business is still quite alive. But today, it takes more than a Part 107 certification and a slick drone. It takes strategy, knowledge, discipline, and a consistently professional protocol. You'll find a direct link to this article along with access to hundreds of vetted drone business strategy resources offered at Aerial Northwest in today's show liner notes. I invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more drone business expansion strategy insights. The risks are real, but for those of us prepared to face them head on, the sky is still the limit. I'm Tony Marino. I wish you all green lights. Thanks for watching and keep on droning. If you have any questions, let us know. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you'd like to hire us, you can get more information by visiting aerialnorthwest.com. Be smart, safe, and fly responsibly.